Fentanyl seizures at our nation's border are rapidly dropping, according to new Customs and Border Protection's data. For years, trafficking of the drug was on the rise, leading to one of the most dangerous drug epidemics in United States history. But confiscations at our nation's southern border have gone down by more than half so far this year. Last year, Border Patrol removed more than 1,700 pounds of the drug, compared to only 746 pounds this year so far. Fentanyl trafficking began falling under the Biden administration. President Trump since has made fentanyl trafficking cartels a national security priority, with a large increase of troops now stationed at our southern border. The administration attributes the new data to new policies empowering law enforcement officials to dismantle drug trafficking networks. Joining us now to discuss is the former Chief of Staff for Immigration and Customs Enforcement under the Biden administration, Jason Hauser. Jason, great to see you. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, Anna. Appreciate being here.
Yeah. Fentanyl, look, it's been a serious issue impacting all sorts of families across the country. Does a fall in border trafficking mean we may see less of this drug throughout the rest of the country, too?
It's a great question. I think clearly what you're seeing is the comprehensive work by federal law enforcement, our international partners, to not only protect us at the border and all the resources and investments that have been made over the last decade, quite frankly, in our border, but also you're seeing federal law enforcement, Homeland Security investigations, the FBI, DEA, really tackling the different parts that create the sort of the fentanyl supply that has been flowing into this country. Homeland Security investigations is a part of ICE. Over the last decade alone, they have made tremendous strides tackling, going after the precursors, going after the financial tools used by criminal organizations, and going after the online-based supply chains that these cartels use to move drugs into the United States. That, coupled with the border security. Additionally, in over the last 3 or 4 months, the Trump administration has directed the sort of intelligence community as a whole to take this as a priority, which is progress, because we haven't seen that focus over the last couple of decades. So I think all of that coupled, I think the data is still not clear whether there's other areas where these drugs may be coming into the country, but law enforcement should be applauded.
Yeah, it sounds like you're applauding the Trump administration, which is nice to hear coming from the Biden administration, too. And we did talk in the intro there that the numbers started falling under Biden's leadership as well. So you think in some ways he's been pretty effective in allocating resources. What about the military presence? Can you talk a little bit about that? Is that making a big difference? Do you approve?
First, I think for the flow of migrants to the border, I think the troops along the border create a deterrence, and they sort of create new flows where migrants are trying to flow. But that is different from the sort of the fentanyl and drug flow trafficking that we're talking about from these extremely large cartels in Mexico that have been bringing drugs to the border. Where I would say that there's been great strides is, again, with Homeland Security investigations, federal law enforcement, but the use of the military's intelligence collection capabilities to target and find, disrupt, and dismantle across the Western Hemisphere. Quite frankly, National Guard or Reserve troops standing along the border is going to sort of deter smuggling within those sort of corridors. But what you see now is more of a comprehensive approach. But I must say, Anna, over the last couple of weeks, the words coming out of the White House about pulling Homeland Security investigations, other federal law enforcement, and the individuals that tackle these real threats to our communities like fentanyl, pulling them away from that work and turning them towards sort of going after non-criminal migrants that were vetted, had pathways into the countries, you can see that our law enforcement resources are not zero sum. In doing that, could have detrimental effects over the next couple of months of all the success law enforcement has found.
All right, former Chief of Staff for Immigration and Customs Enforcement, Jason Hauser, appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.